Hello and welcome to Fish on Northwest. Wayne and Tommy Donlan.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hunting, fishing is my kind of style.
9 feet out behind me right now, so just put your stopper up there on your mono.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow grind in the morning, you know, and that happens sometimes.
When you present it, you're sweeping it over an area. Now, when you get these big, wide areas,
yeah, those are the new Columbia River pop from McKay crab and shrimp here.
Picking wild berries off God's land and drinking my
There we go.
Yes, indeed.
Nicely done, buddy.
hunting, fishing.
That's a beautiful fish, Dwayne. Nicely done.
Thanks for rolling me into him, Mike.
Yes, sir.
When it gets hot, I'm proud of all the things that I've got. I'm digging in moss bags up in the sand, and after work a cold beer in my hand.
Oh, and welcome to Fish on Northwest. Wayne England and yes, Bill Herzog.
hi,
Hey, it's been 2 weeks.
2 whole weeks.
We had to take a week off.
Oh, time's fun when you're having flies.
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely. Want to welcome everybody to today's program. So glad you could join us. We are live from our studio here in Olympia, Washington. And yeah, Bill, summer continues and it's nice to be back. Little trip up north. We had to get on a couple planes, 3 planes, I
Wow.
guess, to get up to where we went this last week to Alaska King Salmon Adventures. And man, it was quite the trip. We really had a great time.
Good deal.
Up there. Yeah, great people.
Right.
Nushagak River. You ever seen that river? It is massive.
I've been to the other rivers in the area, but not the Nush. I've not been there.
Yeah, it branches off into like North and South Fork on that thing, but they are massive, and it just winds and intertwines. And if you don't set your tracks on your Onyx, and it's the first time you've been up there, you can find yourself a bit lost
Without the paddles, so to speak. Yeah.
coming back down
Yeah.
river. And yeah, folks have been known to run out of gas on occasion. So such a great time. Owners Colin and Ellen Klontz, thank you so much for the invite up there. Amazing people. Their entire operation's just, I mean, top notch. You know, and we'll get into it a little bit later, but some of these camps are, you know, they set up and tear them down annually for just the season, right? But they have a little bit different program going on. And again, you know, it's not just like get on a plane and get there. We actually had 3 flights: SeaTac to Anchorage to Dillingham. We had a 1 night stay in an Airbnb at Dillingham. Nice little town, fishing village, really. A couple thousand people, maybe, you know, dirt roads in the town, and just
They're all dirt roads
yeah,
up there, by the way.
you know, they do have some pavement in places where they feel like it's necessary, I guess. But and then a van ride to the lake, and jumped on the beaver, and off we went.
Did you get a chance to do any fishing for those giant spotted rainbow up there?
No, we were primarily targeting coho. That's what the intent of the trip was. This time of year, the Chinook fishing is done. The sockeye are done. Getting into the first week of August, it's all about the coho. And so that flight out of Dillingham to the river and landing on the river, that brings us to this week's peak outdoor moment of the week.
Made it, boys.
Well, there you go. Flight of the Beaver. First time Jordan and I have actually been on one of those.
Yep.
That one there is a fairly new model. It was a 1952.
It is a new model. They're called the Water Taxi of Alaska.
Yes,
by
they
the way.
are. Yeah, they are an amazing machine. Anyway, had a great time. We're going to get into a little later in the show, so let's not delay. Running down the show for today. Bill Herzog,
Yes.
obviously here. Pink's Coho and Summer Steel.
Oh boy.
Recent outings and reports. Going to catch up with you. Then the Nushagak River, the Alaska King Salmon Adventures recap. How'd it go? I think you'll be somewhat surprised. Then again, Mobile Bait Lab, curing eggs for fall salmon. Get your notepad ready. We took time while we were up there in Alaska to cure some eggs and show you some finite details you're going to want to use moving forward. And then first time to the program, Todd Atkins, Senior Vice President of Sportsman's Alliance. So much going on with the Fish and Wildlife Commission. We had to bring in the big gun to gain some understanding because it is deep. Anyway, jumping out for a quick break. Back with Bill Herzog right after this. Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
I make my living catching fish, not only as a tournament angler, but as a guide as well. Catching fish is important, and Gamakatsu hooks for me, you know, they kind of help take the luck out of fishing a little bit just because they're a high quality hook. Obviously have a really good reputation for being very strong and very sharp. Gamakatsu, I use their products every day in the boat and, you know, big part of my success.
Compact, clear, dependable. Bantam HD Youth Binocular. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
All right, welcome back here in studio to New England, Bill Herzog. And William, you've been somewhat busy while we were up north.
Yes, indeed.
You've been out on several bodies of water, chasing pinks and coho to start with, Puget Sound or Hood Canal.
Hood Canal, right by the bridge. There has been a biomass of fish moving through there for the last 2 weeks. It is the most impressive thing in the morning.
They finning out of the water?
They're doing more than that. They're having part of their party up there.
They're having a party.
If you look towards the bridge and then look to the east and west, and as far as you can see it, it's just fish rolling and jumping everywhere. It is so fun to watch.
Well, the preseason forecast was just shy of, a little south of 8 million. I bet you we hit at least 8 million, if not a little more, with the strength of a lot of other runs relative to salmon in Puget Sound. So, they're thick all the way down here to Area 13 now. And people are just having and how about the size and quality?
Well, that was the first thing that I was amazed at. The size of the pink salmon this year. An 8-pound fish is not weird.
You
see the picture I sent you
deep,
of river holding now, and that fish was, honest to God, 10 pounds.
It was really?
Oh, just this giant fish. I mean, we thought,
deep.
I didn't know what it was, and I thought it might have been a Chinook or a big coho or something.
Were you guys jigging for them? Were you sighting them and just jigging, tossing jigs and pushing
when you go toward the biomass and let her rip. You throw light steelhead gear like you use for side ripping or bobber and jig fishing with an 1/8 ounce or 1/4 ounce jig, anything in pink. It could be, but a pink squid. And have at it. Throw it out there, wiggle it just a little bit, or you didn't even have to do anything. Just drop it overboard and hang on.
Just let it sink.
It's so fun. It's
hoping in a couple weeks to get Harper and some of the neighbor kids out. It's a great opportunity when there's that many fish out there. They're going to have success, and you're going to get them hooked on fishing because, I mean, what kids don't want to go out there and have success? Pink and chum are some of the best fisheries to introduce persons, and especially children too.
Here's the coolest part about it. These are a wild salmon in abundance.
Right.
Okay. We can't say that very much anymore, can we? Right. We can say it about that. They're beautiful. They're chrome bright. If you catch them far enough away from their home rivers, their meat quality is very high.
Yeah.
And they taste wonderful. I made enough pink salmon's patties to feed the entire neighborhood, and I'm going to do it again, I think.
I mean, you'll also find success trolling, you know, back. I have yet to go actually target pinks this year. I'm going to get through buoy 10, and then we get back home. We still got the whole month of September. Some of the pinks will still be around, and then, of course, the coho will continue to march on in. But, you know, even 8-inch flashers, white, with moon jelly or some glow on there. And then, of course, you know, name your hoochie pink. And then that doesn't work, take that off, put pink on, right?
There you go, exactly.
Yeah, you can troll for them and find a lot of success. And, you know, we've done really well on them with Brad's mini cut plugs. And it doesn't have to be pink. A couple of years ago, last time they were here, the Seahawk for the Brad's mini cut plug. Just absolutely lighten them up with tuna in there. You're fishing for coho, and you're just constantly catching pinks. They're just hitting, they're just hitting everything.
A herring too, a good old
they'll grab a herring.
cut plug herring.
What do you think they eat? Yeah, I mean, they're not shy from that. So, yeah, Puget Sound continues to perform. We got another day of Chinook opportunity in Area 10 coming up here this Saturday, the 23rd. So, abundance of fish around in a number of areas. I heard, you know, Area 11's doing real well for Chinook and coho, and it's just, I mean, it just continues.
I was surprised to see how many coho we were catching right alongside with the pinks.
Jigging.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And I mean, quite a few of them, not just like, well, that's amazing. No, about every fifth fish was a hatchery coho.
Well,
pretty cool.
You could spend a lot of time out there and keep targeting them, but we had that bump of rain while we were gone in Alaska, and a few of our favorite rivers, you and I were communicating back and forth, and they definitely jumped up to above this normal mean time flow for summer conditions mid-August, and do I dare say for a few days, it was more than doubled the typical average mean flow, right? I mean, we're talking 500 versus 200 or 250. By the time we're in mid-August, particular rivers out here on this area of the coast, you know, if you're at 200 or 250, it's still fishable and you can do pretty well. When you see 500, you get a little excited.
Oh yeah, I start bringing out the hardware back out again, right? Like in the springtime.
Yeah.
And the cool part about it is it brought a lot of anglers out too. I mean, it brought a lot of guys out. You normally don't see this time of year. You brought guys off the saltwater back into the river, and that was kind of fun to see. But I do want to say one thing happened also. That bump of water brought in Chinook.
Yeah.
A bunch of early Chinook, and not just a few of them. Okay, and we had a problem that we couldn't keep them off in some holes. We had to get up and move. And it's a good idea this time of year. If you start running into those Chinook, we shouldn't be messing with them. The water, it has dropped back down. It's very low and clear, and they're not a very good catch and release fish.
No.
And if we're catching them and exercising them unnecessarily, that's going to hurt us down the line a little bit.
To your point, they're not a very good catch and release fish this time of year.
Right.
Water is considerably warmer because it's so shallow. We have another high heat week coming up here starting actually tomorrow, mid-90s, and that's going to sustain through Tuesday or Wednesday here in this Olympia area and out towards that, you know, as it get towards the coast, it's a little cooler. But that sun beating down on those low streams this time of year, when you're fishing for summer on steelhead, and we get a push of rain like we did, those salmon are out there in the salt, and when they get that fresh of rain, they come on in. So it didn't surprise me that you ran into a number of Chinook in the river already.
Right.
But to your point, folks, if you find, you know, a large pool stacked with a bunch of Chinook and stuff in there, you might as well just move on because the steelhead aren't going to be there. So anyway, nice that you got out. You grabbed into a couple, and sounds like a few other folks had a great day out there as well.
The fish are still beautiful and bright.
Oh yeah,
and they're still hitting lures.
It is still summer on steelhead season.
Right, it's over.
A lot of us forget about that, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we got so much salmon fishing going on. Okay, out for a quick break, and right back for more.
All Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why all boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. All Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. All Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Before you buy any boat, stop by or call Defiance Boats today to ensure you are getting the very best glass boat your money can buy.
Start your outdoor adventure at SportGo and Outdoor Emporium, 2 locations with the best selection of name brand outdoor gear at affordable warehouse pricing. Over 60,000 different items to fit in your adventure, like Gamakatsu fishing gear, premium grade high carbon steel hooks, Gamakatsu custom designed fillet and boning knives to tackle and storage containers. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Maximize your outdoor adventure with the right gear at SportGo and Outdoor Emporium, Fife and Seattle.
All right, welcome back. You ready?
I'm born ready, baby.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's Thursday. Come on.
The discussions at break. You never can, see the airwaves. So, hey, just back from the Nushagak River at the, just had an amazing time up there. It was on an invite. I didn't know we were getting into. I mean, I've talked to folks that have run camps up there and own camps up there, and this was formerly owned by Dave Lee and Scott Weedman.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then Colin and Ellen, they bought it. I think this is their 4th year of operation up there.
Sure.
At Alaska on the Nushagak there. So it is definitely a destination fishery. I would say so. When you talk about Chinook fishing in Alaska, people want that big fish, right?
Of course.
The Kenai is known for monstrous fish, right? And they're making a comeback to a point. Nushagak isn't known for like extremely large Chinook salmon.
Lots of fish,
but
right?
a lot of them. They have 100 fish days up there. I think an average, if you and I were to book a trip and go up there mid-season for Chinook, we're going to have 30 and 40 fish days. No problem.
Right. Now, what I know about Alaska, when I guided up there, Yakutat and whatnot, this time of year is when you want to be there, when the first big pushes of coho start coming in, and fishing is normally very, very good. I assume you guys really smoked them.
So last year, the coho, and they are one of the camps that stays open in extended season. Like most of those camps are breaking down after Chinook and sockeye are done.
Sure.
But they're staying open for extended season because of the coho. Now, there's 900,000 coho out there in Bristol Bay.
Boy. Are your arms okay?
Well, they're in the bay. So talking to a few of the folks around town is like, man, there's so many coho out there. There's no market for them. So none of the commercial guys are fishing them.
Well,
they're just out there. And when you look around Alaska right now, the rivers are absolutely teeming with coho. For whatever reason, they're in the bay and they're just trickling in, which is contrary to last year. By August 7th, the river was absolutely plugged full of coho.
Would it be a water issue?
No, flows and everything are fine. Temperature's fine. Everything's on par. I mean, they had a little less snowpack up there this year, so maybe down some, but not enough to not bring the fish in. They're coming in. They're just not coming in like they should. We had to work for those fish. I mean, we had to work hard, and we were getting a handful of fish a day and some old kings to play with that are still hanging around. But, and they're nice coho. It just wasn't like on fire like you would think.
I would think it'd be exactly that.
But it's, they can control everything they have going on. The accommodations are absolutely amazing. The comfort in the bunks and the tents are amazing. They have permanent structures because they own the land, which is a rarity up there because it's all tribal land around there. But they were able to purchase the land with the purchase of the business. They have a number of acres up there, so they have fixed structures in place that they don't tear down. So we're talking running water and plumbing, hot water for showers, actual toilets instead of outhouses, and they got a full kitchen with a mess tent. The meals by Chef Blaine Perez, unbelievable. Prime rib on our final night.
Come on.
Oh, unbelievable. And the breakfasts, I mean, just the biscuits and gravy. You just walk down the line of some of your favorite foods. It is absolutely a mind. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You are 50 miles via river from Dillingham, 25 miles, 25 minutes via the Beaver flying from Dillingham, out in the middle of nowhere. And here they are, massive generator running this whole thing, top-notch accommodations, really, really work hard to take care of everything you need. You are comfortable the entire time. It is, they're doing such a great job up there.
It sounds like we need to go back during king season.
We are going back in king season. Yeah, we are going back in king season. That's going to be the goal. I mean, you're talking, really good guides. Gabe, Dave, and Braden, they are on top of their game. They were getting their clients into fish, even though they're having to work hard for them. We were up there running our own boat. We had me and Mario, Toby Wyatt, Jordan, and Paul joined us, one of Toby's longstanding clients. But we're just out there running our own boat, doing our own thing, finding fish and having a good time.
You still caught fish,
Oh,
right?
we caught fish, yeah.
Okay.
Never been there. We're just figuring it out and going and fishing and, filming and trying to grab some content. But, we were learning day by day what works, what doesn't. And just, we got into fish. The guys were getting their folks into fish. Everybody was having a great time. They have a schedule. Breakfast is at 7 a.m. Okay, you fish from 8 to 4:30. Then you come back in for happy hour. Dinner's on the table at 5. Pretty easy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty regimented, and just get into it, get through your day, and enjoy. It's fantastic operation. Alaska King Salmon Adventures. That's what the hat says. Again, can't thank Colin and Ellen enough. It was a fantastic trip. So glad we did it. Jordan and I had an absolute great time. And if you guys are looking for something that is accommodating and just a really good time and not too pricey on the pocketbook, I think if you can schedule in for Chinook and or sockeye, you're going to really enjoy yourself. So anyway, more to come on that as we move on through the content and get it all sorted out and bring it to you. All right, jumping out for a quick break. We come back. Mm-hmm. Actually, we'll be up there in Alaska. We took time to cure some eggs, film some content, the mobile bait lab, right after this break. Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new and best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine is a boat dealer who proudly sells Defiance, Allied, and Arima boats. All boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Defiance Marine has all your boating needs to help you get out on the water.
The Northwest premier upland bird hunting destination. Located along the beautiful Umatilla River in eastern Oregon. Fully guided bird hunts with expert guides and top-notch dogs. Enjoy comfortable accommodations and gourmet meals at the Riverview Lodge. Book your sensational hunting experience with Horseshoe Curve Outdoors.
When it comes to safety and security, trust the professionals at Phoenix Protective. Our highly trained officers provide 24/7 security services to meet your needs. We provide security for commercial properties, events, building entry, and more. We can monitor your property remotely with our monitoring equipment. At Phoenix Protective, your safety is our mission. Call us today or visit our website to learn how we can protect what matters to you.
All right, hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the bait lab, more so the mobile bait lab. We are currently still up here in Alaska, but when I travel throughout the season and we're fishing, and it's getting kind of, a month or two out of our fall fisheries that we really look forward to and want to stock up on eggs and curing eggs. And you know, from Alaska to home, do I want to get home and take a bunch of uncured raw eggs home and have to cure them and all that when I get home? No, for me it's easier to pack a box, basically bring my mobile bait lab on the road. So did just that as we headed up here to Alaska, and been curing some of the eggs daily as we're catching coho, and getting some real nice early fall eggs out of these fish. And these are going to be absolutely perfect as we get into later fall and are fishing back at home, say again October, November. So, you know, some things that I like to try to prepare and bring with me. You guys have been following me for a while. You know, I really rely on some of my powder additives that I add into my bait cures, my sardine powder, some of my tuna belly, some of my anchovy. Well, with me, prior to leaving home, I went ahead and dehydrated and ground up a bunch of fresh sardine that I will add into this curing process. This for me is pretty much one of my #1 go-tos when it comes to curing up eggs for the fall salmon season. Chinook and coho absolutely jump all over these eggs when I mix in this sardine powder. And again, this is 100% natural sardine, filleted off, cut into small pieces, put into a dehydrator, and get them crispy dry. Like I've had conversations with a bunch of you out there in regards to this. You're having difficulty grinding it into powder. You say that it gets mushy. Well, you really have to dry these out to where you can take the little piece of sardine and pretty much snap it in two. That's how dry it has to be. It can't be too dry when trying to create powder that you're going to then use in your cure. So we're drying it out with a food dehydrator. Now, mine goes up to 155 degrees. You want to find one that's probably in that 150 range. And something like sardine, a couple trays stacked with little pieces of sardine cut up, will take you anywhere from 36 to 48 hours of constant dry time. So just keep that in mind. Then you're going to take all them little pieces, throw it into your coffee bean grinder, whatever small grinder you're using, and create your powder. The other thing I do, look, we have a couple options. We have Potski's Fire Cure. Okay, it's a sulfite-based cure. It works really well for creating eggs that fish really well in the fall. For me, well, and because this doesn't always do a great job in toughening up your eggs to make them a little more durable, the farther we get into the fall, the more mature the fish become, the more mature the eggs become, the looser the skein and the skin gets on the egg. So Fire Cure has its place for me. I do use it throughout the season. You do catch a ton of fish on them, and it makes a really good egg. For more mature eggs that are a little bit looser and I want to tighten up that skin, I rely on my Baraxil Fire. But remember, the Potski's Baraxil Fire is designed to cure eggs that back in the day when we were fishing a lot of bait for steelhead, it makes a really nice, more of a gummy bear, chewy kind of tough egg. So it's not ideal in this, you know, form for curing up eggs for fall salmon. So what I do, and the recipe will be here for you to look at, this is a full container of Baraxil Fire Red. I add to that 1/2 cup of fine granulated white sugar, 2 tablespoons of sodium sulfite as a bite stimulant. It's also known in the food industry as a preservative, but we're using it more so as an additional bite stimulant. And I'll typically add 1 to 2 heaping tablespoons of krill just to give it a little bit more krill essence to it. Now, that blend has worked for me for years. I have a number of different recipes. I refer to this one simply as my #2 go-to when it comes to curing eggs for fall salmon. And I like, just as a reminder, I'm using this on eggs that are a little more mature, and I feel like the skin's a little bit loose, and I want to tighten it up, toughen it up. But because of the sugar and because of the sodium sulfite, they really milk out really nice and produce a really good egg. So that's the combination I'm using. I'm going to show you, we're going to mix in the sardine powder. We're also going to add a little bit of nectar, which is 100% egg juice. I use this to as a volumizer, and it mixes with the cure that I put in on the eggs, and it basically helps create more juice. And once that juice gets distributed throughout the eggs and the curing process takes place, now this is over a 12 to 24 hour period. This is not just something that you do in a couple hours. So we're creating a whole lot of juice, and it's reabsorbing the juice back into the eggs, and that really makes a plump full egg full of juice. And of course, we're going to add a little bit of the red fire dye for my fall eggs in success in fishing fall eggs for salmon in the river under a bobber or drift fished coho and chinook. I like a really red egg, so we're going to add a little bit of red fire dye. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to get some eggs laid out here. We're going to quickly go over how to remove the blood and then get into the curing process. Going to jump out for a quick break. We'll be back in the bait lab right after this.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride in Bremerton, Washington. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why Arima boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. Arima can offer every boat with Honda outboard packages so that you can take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Call or stop by Arima Boats today and let them help you get into your very next boat.
You haven't been here, but you know it. You've heard the sounds, smelt the air, and seen where your heart lands, if not yet. You haven't been here, but you've longed for a destination near or far, a place where discovery and history thrive for young eyes and old alike. You haven't been here, but you're on your way to a place not far. ExploreTheDalles.com.
I make my living catching fish, not only as a tournament angler, but as a guide as well. Catching fish is important, and Gamakatsu hooks for me, you know, they kind of help take the luck out of fishing a little bit just because they're a high quality hook. Obviously have a really good reputation for being very strong and very sharp. Gamakatsu, I use their products every day in the boat, and, you know, big part of my success.
All right, welcome back here to the mobile bait lab. Yes, still in Alaska, and we're going to get these eggs cured up. So I want to show you, starting off, first of all, when you retain a fish and you get the eggs, you know, it's a great idea, especially if you're going to store them in the refrigerator for, say, a day or so, and then get to curing them the next day. You wrap them in paper towels. Initially, as you put them in a Ziploc and put them in the refrigerator, that's going to help remove a good portion of the blood. Now, we got to get in here a little deeper and remove this bloodline out of the eggs. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, so here's the blood that I'm talking about. The easiest way to get this out, now I have a really sharp fillet knife here so it doesn't smash the eggs, but I just cut right through it. And then look, I can literally take the edge of that knife and I can move that blood right along that vein, and down at this end I'm just putting a paper towel in, absorbing that blood. Just kind of wicks it right out of the vein on the egg there. It just, when they're fresh like this, the day of or even 24 hours after you've retained that fish, this blood is still pretty good in the fluid state. So you can move it along in these veins very easily and move it to a point that you can get the blood out of there. Now we want to get as much blood out as we can. Blood doesn't cure real well. The eggs cure. Blood will kind of spoil over time and make the eggs smell horrible. Now we're going to do all these eggs, get all the blood out, but we're also going to butterfly, because these skeins are out of coho that are pretty tight. There's a lot of skin around these eggs all the way across. So by butterflying them open, see I got skin on this side, skin on this side. If I don't open this up, getting the cure down in between the layers of eggs can be difficult. So we just don't cut all the way through. You go about 3/4 of the way. That's a butterflied skein. A lot of skin on the back side. We're going to get these all prepped and we're going to show you how to put the cure on. All right, so basically I have them all butterflied, laid out here. The blood's removed from most of them. Now, when you prep these and get them ready to go, you're going to be skin side down, eggs side up. That way you can get the cure right onto the eggs. And I don't have to necessarily flip them over and put cure on the back side of the skin. We're going to put them into a gallon Ziploc bag, and I'm going to show you how to do that and keep your hands completely clean. Yes, wearing gloves, but this can get pretty messy. But if you do it this simple method on the paper towels into a Ziploc bag, there's no mess. All right, so here you go. I have clean paper towels laid out from my work area. Got all the skeins butterflied, egg side up, skin side down. If you have any problem determining what that is, obviously the skin side is down. We're going to apply the cure to the egg side, and you're going to see that I don't really pick these up and get it all over my hands, even though I'm wearing gloves. Worry about putting cure on both sides of them. I rely on the Ziploc bag as I'm moving them around, which I'll show you. That's how we disperse the cure evenly throughout the egg. So I'm going to take my number 2 cure here. And remember, this has a very small amount of sodium sulfite based on the volume of cure in this container. So some may think that I'm putting way too much cure on here, but I'm only putting it on the one side. And it's not a hot cure by any means. It has some sodium sulfite in, but not a ton. Okay, so that's the combination of cure on the egg side. Now I'm going to take my sardine powder that I like to add as a tremendous bite stimulant. And overall, it just makes the eggs smell extremely fishy. And that seems to really draw the fish in. So there you go. That's the sardine powder on the eggs. Now, I have my gallon Ziploc baggie. I write on here what it is, so I remember my number 2 recipe with sardine added. I open that up. Now the reason I don't have to put the cure on the back side, I'm just folding this up. I'm going to lay it right here in the bag. I'm going to drop those on in there, okay? Notice, not all over my hands, not a huge mess. Now I can look in here if I decide I want to put a little more cure in here. I certainly can do that. I can sprinkle a little on here, okay? You may or may not want to do that. The other thing I'm going to add, and again, this will eventually get all dispersed out evenly because we're going to tumble this in the bag. So I'm taking my nectar, which is the egg juice, and we're just going to squirt that on one side, flip it over here, squirt it on the other side. That's about a tablespoon or 2. And now with the fire dye, same thing. Okay, we're going to go squirt. This ends up being about a tablespoon and a half. Now make sure you're working over an area that is covered by paper towels and that you're not going to make a mess. If you do spill, this stuff can stain pretty bad, whatever's underneath it. So I like to blow a little air into the bag. It gives me some room to work. Now make sure that's good and sealed. Now we just start the tumbling process, okay? And now we're moving that cure around and that liquid around and the sardine powder, and we're getting that all mixed up. And you know, the front side, the back side, the egg side, the skin side, it's all getting covered. Now here's where the value of time comes in. I'm going to let these sit just like this. I'm going to come back out here in about 20 minutes and I'm going to gently tumble these around again. Now as these are sitting in the cure, it draws the liquid, the egg juice out of the eggs, and you actually get more liquid in here. Do not make the mistake of thinking that you've over-cured them and you need to dump all that liquid out. That's a huge mistake. It takes time to cure eggs properly. So for the first few hours, every 20 to 30 minutes, I want to come, you know, back out to my garage or wherever I'm doing this. I'm going to gently tumble those around. I'm going to let them sit. They'll continue to make more juice. Another half an hour, we're going to tumble them around and let them sit. Now, this time of year in the fall time, if your garage is like 60 degrees on average or so, perfect conditions. If you have to put it in your mud room, laundry room, something like that, you don't want them to get excessively warm. That 50, 60 degree temperature is great. If you put them in the refrigerator, while it's producing this juice and then absorbing it back in, it's going to slow the process and it may not absorb all that juice back in. You want to leave them at a room temperature so the egg expels the juice and then draws it back in. And when it draws it back in, it volumizes the eggs. Now, these were bathing in fluid just a day ago. And you can see how at least 90% of that fluid is all absorbed back into these eggs, okay? What I'll do then, after say 12 hours at room temperature, I'm going to roll the air out of these, okay? We'll fast forward this. And I'm going to basically make sure all that juice is around those eggs, and I will leave it sitting for another 12 hours or so at room temperature. That's going to let that juice reabsorb into those eggs, and it's going to really plump them up and make them full of volume. Then when they're to this state, once they've been reabsorbed, I can put these in the fridge and they're ready to fish, or I can freeze them, okay? And I can freeze them just like that. We can talk further down the road here about vacuum sealing and things like that, but I can certainly freeze them like that for short term if I'm going to turn around and use them relatively quick. Again, never dump your juice off of your eggs prior to use or prior to freezing. What I would do is, if I pull these out of the freezer, I'm going to set them in a colander over a garbage can or over a bucket. I'm going to peel them out of the plastic bag. I'm going to let them thaw out, and any excess juice that is on those eggs as they thaw will drip away, and then those eggs, for the most part, will be ready to fish. So just a real quick down and dirty couple key points on how to be successful in curing eggs. And you know, if you're on the road fishing and you're collecting eggs, take some products with you. We'll be down at buoy 10 here in no time, going to be curing a bunch of eggs down there, getting ready for fall fisheries on down the road. All right, going to do it for us here in Alaska at the Mobile Bait Lab. Jumping out for a quick break. We'll be back in studio right after this.
You haven't been here, but you know it. You've heard the sounds, smelt the air, and seen where your heart lands, if not yet. You haven't been here, but you've longed for a destination near or far, where the young and old find rest and excitement, not apart. You haven't been here, but you're on your way to a place not far. ExploreTheDalles.com.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
oh, oh. Oh, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
All Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why all boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. All Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. All Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Before you buy any boat, stop by or call Defiance Boats today to ensure you are getting the very best glass boat your money can buy.
All right, welcome back here in studio. A little trip to Alaska, my friend. A little egg curing.
You know, I've watched you cure eggs more than once, by the way.
Yes.
And I've taken copious notes, by the
Right.
way. And I have a freezer full of your delicious recipes that salmon and steelhead seem to love. And I watched that. I learned some stuff watching that one right there.
Just right there.
I sure did.
Something different.
There's always something to learn, my friend.
Fantastic. Well, glad you enjoyed it. All right, moving along. Want to introduce you all to Mr. Todd Atkins, Senior Vice President, Sportsman's Alliance. First time joining us here on the program. Todd, thanks for taking time out. Glad to finally get you on the show.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here this evening. I've heard such great things about you too. From my colleague Brian Lynn. He's been on your show many times, so
Yes,
I'm excited I finally get to be here with you.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we've had a lot going on, excuse me, relative to the Fish and Wildlife Commission here in Washington State and some other players as well. First, excuse me. First, I want to make note of the fact that Jim Anderson was recently voted in as the new chair of our Washington State Fish and Wildlife Commission. Now, from where I'm sitting, I think that's a pretty strong move. I think that's that he's a strong advocate for those that fish and hunt in the state of Washington. Where's Sportsman's Alliance on this particular pick?
Oh, it's fantastic. One of the problems folks are falling into a little bit is we've lost so much over the years is we really want to get everything back right now. And I totally understand that, right?
Sure.
But if you think about how remarkable that is, that we've got a new chair with a different outlook, with a different belief system than Barbara Baker.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, that's a move in the right direction. And that's what we're about at Sportsman's Alliance, making sure that the changes we can help kind of push on a little bit are durable and lasting. And that new chairman will be a durable and lasting positive for all of us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And you just kind of mentioned it, Barbara Baker, former chair. Through the public records request, Sportsman's Alliance uncovered some communications that brought to light the facts on how the commission meetings were actually being conducted. And in several cases, it seemed as though votes were actually already decided. The outcome was already decided before the meeting, dog and pony show in front of the public. Is that a fair statement?
I think that's a fair statement. Look, a lot of folks are trying to blame the Sportsman's Alliance for creating something. We're just presenting to the public their words, their texts, their emails. And they would meet behind closed doors often and kind of get ready to go for a commission meeting. They would meet with advocates before commission meetings, meaning animal rights groups, animal extremist groups. And yeah, the whole point of the Open Public Meetings Act is we want the government to do its business in front of us, right? We want to be able to see what's going on and provide input. Well, many of these commission meetings, the votes had already been cooked by these folks. Very, very unfortunate, but we're very happy to bring that forward so that now we can start to help make the changes that obviously need to take place.
Yeah, excellent point. So currently, as it sits, we still have a recognized imbalance within the commission, as in a 5-4. And I say that as those for anti-hunting versus those that are pro-hunting. So when it comes to votes and meetings and agendas, like Anderson now controls the agenda. He controls the pace. He controls what gets in on these meetings to a point. I would like to think that those groups, those out-of-state and in-state anti-hunting groups that you spoke of, that had the ear of a number of our current commissioners who are still there, but they may not have as much success in getting those particular topics or talking points brought in to the commission floor for discussion.
I think that's right. And I think a perfect example of that is the conservation policy that has since been kicked to the curb by even Barbara Baker herself. That was kind of her ideal policy, and we all know why. They wanted to get the conservation policy in place so they could kind of overshadow our fish and hunting and fishing mandate that's established in state law. Well, Barbara Baker was driving that bus hard for a couple of years, and not having the chair anymore means that those types of policies that at their core are problematic for folks who enjoy the outdoors, who hunt and fish, etc. It's almost immeasurable how important that chairmanship can prove to be at times.
Yeah, excellent point. Okay, we're always never enough time and always too much info, but don't go anywhere, Todd. We are jumping out for a quick break. Stay tuned. More with Todd Atkins right after this.
The Northwest premier upland bird hunting destination. Located along the beautiful Umatilla River in eastern Oregon. Fully guided bird hunts with expert guides and top-notch dogs. Enjoy comfortable accommodations and gourmet meals at the Riverview Lodge. Book your sensational hunting experience with Horseshoe Curve Outdoors.
Start your outdoor adventure at SportGo and Outdoor Emporium, 2 locations with the best selection of name brand outdoor gear at affordable warehouse pricing. Over 60,000 different items to fit in your adventure, like Gamakatsu fishing gear, premium grade high carbon steel hooks, Gamakatsu custom designed fillet and boning knives, to tackle and storage containers. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Maximize your outdoor adventure with the right gear at SportGo and Outdoor Emporium, Fife and Seattle.
When it comes to safety and security, trust the professionals at Phoenix Protective. Our highly trained officers provide 24/7 security services to meet your needs. We provide security for commercial properties, events, building entry, and more. We can monitor your property remotely with our monitoring equipment. At Phoenix Protective, your safety is our mission. Call us today or visit our website to learn how we can protect what matters to you.
All right, welcome back here in studio. Still on with Todd Atkins, Senior Vice President of Sportsman's Alliance. And Todd, we tackled a number of things prior to the break. And right now I want to drill down on the fact that, hey, finally, Director Susewind submitted a letter to Governor Bob Ferguson's office to, in his mind, you know, there needs to be an investigation. He wants to initiate an investigation of members of our commission following the release of public records, of which you folks found that call into question the conduct of several commissioners. Susewind suggests further investigation is warranted. He also, the records that the director is speaking of, again, are ones that you folks actually pulled out of through the communication seeking that you put out there. Yep.
Really, really, really important. Again, I know we all want all the fixes in place today, right? I understand that. But the fact that the governor is now investigating what we brought forward, or based on what we brought forward, I got to hand it to the director. He obviously is not a cowardly man. He came forward and said, I see this evidence. This evidence is a problem. We see folks talking about deleting public records. We see folks meeting in secret, a whole host, everything we brought forward. So I got to hand it to the director. And I got to tell you, just real quick, the fact that the other side, the animal extremists, are now saying that the director is aligning himself with the Sportsman's Alliance.
Yes.
Really upsets me.
I believe it. Yeah.
He is aligning himself with the rule of law. Remember, we just brought forward in black and white their conduct. It's Barbara Baker who said delete, right? Yes. I didn't invent that. We didn't invent that. Sure. So the fact that the director is willing to stand up for the right thing and ask the governor, please do the right thing and investigate this, it's really, for everybody in our community, it's a good day when that happened. Yeah, 100%. Look, and you basically summarized it, but thanks to Sportsman's Alliance, internal communications, correspondence obtained through the PRR, the public records request, indicated that 4 of the commissioners that we're talking of subverted open meeting laws, disregarded tribal input, that was a huge one, and violated public records laws, especially when they began deleting communications. They brought this on themselves. Yeah, and you might recall back during the spring bear hunt fight, Melanie Rowland admitted that she deleted an ex parte communication, correcting her during that meeting how to word the motion to kill the spring bear hunt forever. It's a culture of corruption. When they're just like, of course I deleted that. What's the big deal? It is a big deal. So again, the governor's investigation, really, really important. It is, and he's handed it off to the Washington State Human Resources to do a thorough investigation on the 4 commissioners in question. Now, do you think without a nudge from the Director Susewind, to the commissioner, or to the governor, writing a letter requesting an investigation be handed down, do you think the governor may have fall through with this, or because you guys, he's had this information for quite some time? Yeah, I don't know to be certain. We have purposely not reached out to the governor's office. We provided the evidence, but we want to stay out. Here's what we've uncovered. You need to make your judgment, Governor. So who knows what the mix was of things coming together, but I do know this: we brought forward corruption. Yeah.
100%.
So however the governor finally got there for this culture of corruption, I'm just glad he is here right now actually investigating these problems.
Couldn't agree more. And the response from Washington Wildlife First was a two-part. One, as you've already stated, they came after Sportsman's Alliance and the governor saying you guys were lock and step. Secondly to that, they asked for Susewind to be removed. Their direct and immediate response in that meeting was, we feel we have justifiable cause to have Susewind removed from his position.
It's remarkable, right? I use that word often when we're describing how this commission and some of these groups respond. Pardon me. The director asked the governor to investigate based on the black and white words, text, etc. of these commissioners. There's nothing invented here. This isn't editorializing. The director is being a good director, saying there's definitely stuff that needs to be investigated here, and reporting to his boss, the governor, you need to take a look.
Absolutely.
Oh, Washington Wildlife First keeps pointing at the Sportsman's Alliance and other things. And the simple fact is these commissioners were engaging in highly problematic and at least arguably illegal behavior. And that's all we brought forward.
Yep. Yeah. And you guys are doing amazing work. Continue the fight. There's thousands of pages of records you still have not obtained, which I know over time you will. More to come on that. We could talk on this for hours, Todd. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. I will definitely have you back on the show, probably within a month or so, to get caught up on where some of this stuff is going, and hopefully it's in a favorable direction.
There's a nice breeze blowing right now. I feel good where things are headed. So
okay, fantastic. Todd Atkins, Senior VP for Sportsman's Alliance. Thanks for joining me on today's program, and we'll stay in touch, my friend. Got it. All right, jumping out for a quick break. We'll be back shortly and close it out. Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
You haven't been here, but you know it. You've heard the sounds, smelt the air, and seen where your heart lands, if not yet. You haven't been here, but you've longed for a destination near or far, a place where discovery and history thrive for young eyes and old alike. You haven't been here, but you're on your way to a place not far. ExploreTheDalles.com.
Compact, clear, dependable. Bantam HD Youth Binocular. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Well, there you have it. Great information from Mr. Todd Atkins.
We need more guys like him.
Yeah, Sportsman's Alliance is right on top of it. And because of their efforts, we're unveiling all that's been going on behind the scenes. It's really good stuff. You and I are heading to Buoy 10.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, we're going to be down there for a better part of the week. Hope to make it back in time for next week to have another fantastic live show. So that's going to do it for us this week here out of the studio. Weather is going to be amazing this week, so take full advantage of that. Wear the sunscreen. It's going to be downright hot out there. Anyway, get outdoors. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Get something done. We'll see you next time right here, Fishing Northwest.